On today's show, 3 ways to take your portraits from ordinary
to outstanding.
There's only one thing that we love more than eating food with chopsticks, and that's photography.
All right, we are back from a little hiatus, and Mark has already started digging into the sushi.
I gotta eat.
It doesn't take long.
You can't put sushi in front of me and I don't eat it. Oh.
Hey, but we've been on a little hiatus from the show. We've been putting out a lot of videos, but from the show.
Yeah.
Because we just got back.
We did. We spent 1 month up
1 month.
at a beautiful camp near a place called Mount Lassen, working with teens, photographing and filming a camp.
A lot of junior hires. I know that's everybody's dream out there, is to spend a month with junior hires. But you know what?
It was
kind
amazing.
of a dream job. It was a lot of fun. Now, we didn't have any sushi.
That's the problem. We didn't have sushi.
No.
So today we get to eat a little more sushi on
do.
the show, and I'm excited.
But I missed it. I missed the show. I'm glad to be back in the
to dive right in, we said we're going to give you 3 ways that you can improve your portrait photography immediately.
That's
you
right.
can take it from ordinary to
outstanding.
All right. So what's our first tip? Our first way?
So this is something we've been practicing a lot with and talking a lot about internally to ourselves.
Okay.
Not just talking to ourselves, but like together. We talk to ourselves often. You'll often notice Mark talking to himself. But no, it really, it's about finding the shadows, right? Because we've realized that makes a big difference in your portraits.
You know, because that's always the thing is everybody always says, oh, when you're looking to make a great portrait, look for the light. Look for the light. And that's how I've always taught it. That's how I was taught. But man, we had a chance to work with one of our heroes. And one of the things that he kept saying to us is, guys, stop looking for the light. Look for the shadows. The shadows are what makes a portrait look dramatic.
Yep.
The absence of shadows, you just have a flat, boring image.
No, it's all about the drama, right? Shadows add the drama, which makes a picture interesting.
We love drama.
We do.
But you know, rather than just talk about it, why don't you go right now and show them what we're talking
Let's
about?
show it. All right, so Mark, you were asking about, I'll be showing you the shadows, right? So I'm going to first take a picture out here of Amanda, and it's going to be a nice headshot. Let me just snap it off here. Yeah, it looks good. It's just a great, great headshot. But watch what we're going to do. I'm going to use the same door. We're actually outside here. I'm going to use the same door. Amanda, come on in. Stand about there, yep. And actually scoot back so you're in the center of the door. And just point your nose out a little bit. There we go, right there. All right, so you can even look at me just with your eyes, And wow, what we did is we created drama. Check that out, Amanda. We created drama just by looking for the shadows. It's amazing. Absolutely amazing. All right, there you go again. You just can't wait, can you? You cannot wait. Now, I realize this is umi sushi, but you know, those shadows make a big difference. I think you noticed.
Yeah, and it's just been something that's been on my mind. Look for shadows.
But what do you have for number 2?
So number 2 is going to sound really simple, but catch lights. And we all know what catch lights in the eyes. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So what? You guys all know of us that we're guys that like to use flash.
All the time.
You know, we're constantly using flash. And when you use flash, what do? You get a catch light in the eye.
That's why I say, so what?
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. I guess nothing. No. So here's what it really boils down to is so much of the times, you know, there's times where we don't use light. We don't use flash, where we're going to use natural light. One of the problems I see with natural light shooters, they're not thinking catch lights. They're just thinking, oh, that's good soft light. And they're going, how do I get a catch light? Because there's no catch lights to be had. I'm telling you, anywhere you go.
Stop.
Okay.
You show me.
Okay.
Show me.
Right now, let's go take a look at what I mean. Okay, so Steve, we talked about catch lights, the importance of a catch light. So I've got Amanda underneath the porch here. And, you know, we've got good, decent light on her here. And I actually can shoot about 180 degrees from any direction and get nice, even light on her face. Here's one of the things we got to think about. I'm going to have Amanda just pointing this way right here, and we're going to take a shot right now. And it looks great. There's great light on her face. We still have some nice modeling there, but her eyes are just missing that spark. So what I'm going to have her do now is I'm going to have her point her face, her nose, towards, there's an opening in the trees right behind us here, and you're going to face this way, and I'm going to take that same shot with her looking, her face that way, eyes towards the lens. But now we've got this amazing catch light in her eye, and it just sparkles. So anytime you're out, even if you're just shooting natural light, look for breaks in the trees. Look for, if you're underneath a porch or a canopy, get their face to point towards that break to the sky, and you're going to get a beautiful catch light in the eye.
All right, and we're back with number 3. Actually, the third bite. Sushi. So what do you got for number 3? Exactly. High-speed sync. And tell me about it.
I'm going to put these down because I'm going to keep eating
please,
if I don't.
Please, and swallow first.
And we actually have people that
sync.
we know hate watching us eat.
They do. In fact, we had someone complaining that they say, those Nimrods, all they do is eat. And I don't really enjoy watching that. But you know what?
So I'm going to stop eating for you, Jeff. I won't mention any names.
No, not at all.
But no, high-speed sync. You know, we said 1.5 years ago that the latest versions of high-speed sync really changed the way we shot pictures. And it has. But here's the problem. Probably.
But you got a little sushi in your beard there. There you go. Okay.
But here's what the problem's been, right? We had the same problem. If you're so excited about high-speed sync that you use it for everything,
and we used it for everything. I mean, like,
and we would get so frustrated of like, oh, why is this coming out how I like?
Because we used it for everything.
Exactly.
But high-speed sync allows you to shoot at your widest aperture that you choose with flash.
Exactly. And that's what I want people to remember.
So I think maybe if we show you kind of what we're talking about, because there's a time for high-speed sync and there's a time not to high-speed sync.
That's right.
But I think let's
give them a great example of why you should be learning high-speed sync right now.
Okay. All right, so we're shooting high-speed sync, and the reason why you might want to use high-speed sync versus a normal flash sync, right?
Correct, because you're not going to use it for everything.
No, high-speed sync just means that you can go beyond that factory set sync speed on your camera. Yeah. So on our Nikons, it's 250. And this will allow us to shoot higher.
Higher than 250.
Higher, and the benefit is you can shoot with your Sigma 1.485 lens.
Exactly.
In the daylight at a very, very wide aperture. So let's give that a try.
Yeah, so how about I shoot it kind of the traditional way first.
Okay, let's do that.
So let's see why people hate flash.
See what it would take to get a good exposure.
Okay.
Okay, with the flash. Okay. We're using the Interfit S1s right now, so let's give it a try.
Okay, let's try it. Okay, so I've already metered this and I figured this out. In order to shoot at a very low power with our flash and stay in my sync speed, I have to shoot her at f8. And again, this is why people hate using flash in the daytime. This is a great exposure on her right now. It looks fantastic. The problem is, everything is just too in focus behind her. I can see that we're shooting in a busy street in a neighborhood, and that's what it looks like. But if I change my settings and go above my sync speed, what's going to happen is automatically my light is going to say, ooh, you're in high-speed sync, which is going to allow me, I'm going to take this all the way down to 1.4, and let's see what we get here. I'm going to try this at a 1/1600th of a second. And it's a little bit bright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead a 3200th of a second. And look at that. That is a gorgeous photo at 1.4 in the middle of the day with amazing light that I can control. That's the reason you use high-speed sync.
Fortunate questions.
It feels like forever since we've done a fortunate question.
It has. It is nice. We were just saying, it's so nice to be back in the studio.
Do you remember, though, you used to hand that off using your fortune cookie or your fortune cookie devices?
You know what it is? I've eaten a lot of sushi, and I was actually thinking, Steve probably doesn't want me to pick his cookie up.
No, not particularly.
With my
with your
mouth-laden chopsticks. So.
All right, so what do you think we got today?
I don't know. I hope it's a good question.
This is actually a fresh batch.
Nice.
Just opened it up. It just got drop shipped to us right to the studio.
Okay.
Now notice how I opened it up over the table so it's not crumbing on the floor.
That's right.
I cannot believe
Ooh, that's a long question.
These questions, the writing is getting smaller and smaller.
Would you like to use my glasses?
I've got my one monocle in, so
okay.
Let's see if this works here. It says, okay, it's from Pedro. You know, I voted for Pedro.
Yeah, that's right. Vote for Pedro.
He's from San Pedro. That's pretty funny. Pedro from San Pedro. Where are you from?
I think someone's
Pedro,
pulling their leg.
San Pedro. He's the Pedro from the Pedro, so that's kind of funny.
Okay.
But anyways, man, it's so small. It says, I just started out using Flash. Do I really need a large softbox or any of those fancy modifiers? Yeah, I would start with an 80-inch softbox.
Sure,
90-inch.
exactly.
No, what do you think?
Something big and expensive.
What do you think?
You know what? I think what he's asking is he just said he started out.
He says
right?
he just started out.
Said
Yeah,
it? Yeah,
Pedro just started.
I hear this all the time. People that just get started go, "Hey, Mark, should I get the 43-inch Octabox or the?" And it's like, how much flash have you used? You got to work your way up to it. Again, we've mentioned this before. Our friend Joe Edelman.
Yeah.
I firmly believe with this statement. I guess try to say
my
this again. I
disease
know.
now.
I firmly believe in the statement he always says is like, you actually can set your photography back by buying too good a gear too soon. Like, buy a speed light, learn how to use it.
Yeah,
Once you figure out how to
master that.
use it, guess what you should be buying, Pedro?
You know what I would buy? Probably the same thing you would buy.
Okay, let's see if we're saying the same thing.
we'll say
On
the same
three.
thing.
1, 2, 3.
Shoot through umbrella.
Yeah.
Okay, we came up with the same thing.
Shoot through umbrella.
Yep.
It is. I don't know how many years I shot. I just did a wedding
With a shoot-through umbrella.
last weekend.
And it wasn't just any wedding; it was a rock star wedding.
It was, and you
Like,
can,
literally,
you
a
can
rock
look
star
back. I'll
wedding.
put a link to that video. But I shot it with a shoot-through umbrella. I love shoot-through umbrellas.
Yep.
They're lightweight.
So, yeah, go ahead.
I just say they're lightweight. What I like about them, the light goes evenly out.
Yeah.
You just get nice, beautiful directional light. That if you don't know what you're doing, you can actually make your pictures not as good using a softbox because you get fall off, you get light that's ending too soon. If you don't know what you're doing, start with a shoot-through umbrella.
So, like
Pedro.
our friend Scott Robert Lim. So we just did a shoot out in the Salt Flats in Salt Lake City.
Yeah.
With Scott, and what does he use?
A shoot-through
Shoot-through
umbrella.
and like he shoots pretty spectacular stuff.
Yeah.
But he was saying the same thing. We were actually chatting about this in the car as we were driving out to Salt Flats with him, and it was like, guys, people just have to master the basics first. Don't move on. It's like trying to buy or rent a photo studio if you don't know anything about photography. It just doesn't make sense.
We were talking about that today. We were talking about it would be like going, you know what? I like car racing. I'm going to go out and spend $500,000. I'm going to buy a NASCAR setup car, and then I'm going to learn how to drive.
Yeah.
No.
Doesn't work that way.
No, it doesn't.
Pedro.
Photography's no different.
Here it is. We kind of went off on a little long rant, but the whole thing is start with a shoot-through umbrella. It's going to be $10. You get an inexpensive stand. Get a sandbag because it will blow over. And your flash. That's all you need. So you can spend like $50.
Yeah. Master it. And then when you've mastered it and you go, where do I go from here? Then figure out, I'm going to buy a softbox and I'm going to figure out how it does something different.
If you have not watched it, watch it. Our video on shooting with a inexpensive one light speed light setup.
The whole thing was a shoot-through umbrella.
It was a shoot-through umbrella and amazing pictures. So we'll put the link somewhere below to that as well. But you want to master that and you will actually be blown away with just using that. It's a lot better than going crazy with a bunch of stuff.
Some of my favorite pictures I've ever taken was with a shoot-through umbrella.
Yeah.
Good.
So, Pedro, good question. Thank you. And as always, if you we'll stuff it, but if you send us a question, you'll be stuffed into a fortune cookie. And I am looking for the box of goodies here. But down
That's
here,
right.
It's covered with chopsticks right now.
So guess what, Pedro? For sending in that question, we're going to be sending you the official Chopstick Guy kit, where you're going to get your 2 pair of chopsticks and
You got
special
wasabi bowls and
fortune cookies and all kinds of
in
things.
fact, you get some fortunate questions sent right back to you to
That's
answer.
right.
But no, you get that. So if you send us a question, put it in the comments below. We will actually send you out via the U.S. Postal Service a beautiful bamboo sushi chopstick, guys. Sushi set. That's right.
Thanks again, Pedro. Hey, what a great show. We were just saying it a few minutes ago. Great to be back in the studio.
Yes.
We're looking forward to keeping the show going.
Yep.
And making it better than ever.
Real quick though, there's some news percolating in the mirrorless world.
Yeah.
That either has.
Are you talking about that exciting new camera?
I am.
From Canon?
No.
No.
Yes, this Canon just introduced a brand new mirrorless, which is pretty exciting.
Which is a $600 point and shoot.
No, not so. Actually, it's $399. It's really exciting. But anyways, it's the new Nikon mirrorless camera, and coming up soon, they're going to have a big press.
Yeah, I believe in just a couple weeks.
Yeah, but are you excited about it? We're both Nikon shooters.
Yeah, you know we shoot Nikon, but am I excited? No.
No, I'm not really either.
No. Do I want to see it? Of course I do. Am I hoping it's a home run? Yep.
Yeah.
Do I think it's going to be a home run?
Don't know.
I'm hoping at least a triple. You know, it's one of those things where you go, can you really hit a home run with a whole new system?
I don't know. You know, here's the thing. Like,
There's
so much talk of people moving to Sony. Like, we've done a couple shows on the Sony. I really, really like this new breed of Sony equipment.
Yeah.
It's really good. Have we switched?
I shoot.
You shoot Sony.
I shoot Nikon as my
But have you switched
primary.
like, your
Sony, I have one Sony for a backup. And
Yeah, but you still haven't switched.
No.
So, I don't know. Am I going to switch to a Nikon mirrorless just because it's Nikon?
No. Because we're photographers.
Yeah.
If you're a photographer, you can't afford to switch.
But let's kind of devil's advocate this just for a second, and if you're still watching this, I think you'll find this interesting. So we both just finished a month's worth of camp. You just shot a wedding. We're shooting another wedding this weekend. We both used our mirrorless equipment
Correct.
a lot
recently.
Okay, so I shot this camp. 90% of the camp shots I shot 10,000 frames. We're using a Fuji mirrorless camera.
Yes.
So Fuji X-T1. It's an older version of some of the newer equipment they have. But I gotta tell you, we were just talking about this today. I said, I love that little camera.
Yeah.
It
The
was-
exposures that you got, especially at rec time where you didn't have to have the camera here, you can get down low,
Plus, just
simple.
carrying around the thing was so much easier.
Super light.
You shot at your wedding.
Yeah, the wedding I just shot, you know, I carry my Nikon, that's my main camera, but I took my A7. We both wear our spider holsters. They sent us the spider lights, which are great for mirrorless cameras. I recommend them highly. But I clipped that on the other side of my spider holster, so I was able to carry my Sony and my Nikon. And I'll tell you what, by the end of the day, I was going, oh, man, this mirrorless system
you're right
is
on
sure
heavy, right? I mean, it was
looking good. Today, my wrist hurts after 15 hours of shooting.
Yep.
And
The first thing you asked for when you came to the studio this morning was, "Where's your Advil?"
yeah, exactly.
That's what happens when you turn 50.
That's right.
Shooting photography is so tiring. But no, the whole thing with the mirrorless, I'm excited to see what Nikon's going to talk about.
Yep, I think so too.
I don't know that it's going to make me switch. There's rumors that they're going to introduce two, a 24 and a 42 megapixel.
And that
body.
mount that we're seeing right now looks gigantic,
It looks like
which tells me
great white
there's
shark
big things
jaw.
happening. And Nikon, love them, hate them. They make the best lenses in the world. I just consistently.
So they have the opportunity, whether they'll capitalize on it or not, is to leapfrog everybody else.
Yeah, I hope that they do.
Sony's got a 6-year advantage on them.
Yeah,
Olympus has an
Fuji's
advantage
jumping
with
at their
Fuji.
heels.
So, I mean, you got all these
Everybody
companies
is.
that are putting out some pretty incredible product.
And then Canon comes out with a brand new point and shoot. I don't know what's going on there.
No, it's a little whack. But anyways, so that's kind of the new news. Just keep it. As soon as we hear anything new about this, we'll be posting some videos on it. If we get our chance to do a hands-on review, we'll definitely do that as well. So.
That's right.
That's all I got.
Okay.
What do you got?
It's a slow news. Other than I think your Nikon kind of eclipsed everybody with that news this last week, and so
hey, give me a 30-second takeaway from today, or even from maybe last night. Last night we had the opportunity to spend some moments with Joe McNally.
We did. We
in
had
fact,
a great
it was kind of fun
evening
because
with
Chase
Joe.
Jarvis came walking in the room at the same time.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
right after Joe. But
30 seconds. Here's my takeaway from our time with Joe.
Okay.
His one thing was just so encouraging that when you think you've done well on a photo, keep figuring out what could I have done better, and then don't just say what could I have done better. Rework the photo. Go out there and keep working it until you get it perfect.
Yep.
Stop being happy with mediocre photos. Our mantra last year was don't be lazy, don't be lazy. I think our new mantra has to be don't be okay with mediocre.
30 seconds, done.
Done.
Wow, that's pretty impressive. That's a new one for you. No, here's mine.
And you, 30
mine
seconds.
is don't ever give up. Right? Joe was telling us about his last year, which was incredibly difficult for him business-wise. Like, he lost some really big jobs that he thought were for sure.
Yeah.
He struggled big time at the beginning of this year getting jobs, and there was months that he barely worked.
And
right?
we're going,
we're
he's
like,
Joe
that's Joe
McNally.
McNally. What are you talking about? You're not working. And he was just explaining that it's rough, but you know what he does? He hustles. The guy works so hard. He goes out and creates business for himself.
Yep.
So that was so motivating for me to actually hear it from his mouth to my ears and say, don't give up. Keep going, keep going, keep going. You're right on there. You're right on the edge. Keep going. And it was like, thanks, Joe.
All right.
I needed that.
I feel like we ought to do, hey, you out there.
Yeah.
Look into the camera. Just start saying, I'm good enough. Better than what
You?
I think, and doggone it, people like me.
And with that, like always, like and subscribe.
Hey, but most of all, don't forget,
Say
say
sushi.
sushi.